Hi, this is Jason Lundgren, and this is part 3 of Jason's journey. This is the part where I tell you about how I dealt and trying and living with like multiple disorders. I live just like every one of you, whether or not you're disabled or whether you're living a regular life. I take it one day at a time. The thing about it is though is like I work, obviously. See my uniform. I'm working at Safeway in Lake Stream, Washington. I was a full-time courtesy clerk, but now I'm just courtesy on hire, but mostly I'm doing just bathrooms as generic. I kind of like that better because I get my tongue out of the way. The reason why I like that better is because I don't have to deal with too many customers, especially the ones that are some customers are mean for no reason. Some of them. I mean, some of them are right, but most of them are just, some of them are just trying, unless you work retail like I do, I don't think you would understand the whole thing. Like, I worked for 14 years at the same store, and some customers are just, they drive me nuts, but there's some customers I really like. But, like I said, not likable enough so I can just be friends with them, but at least likable enough so I can help them again and talk to them about a few things. Help them with their items that or everything else. Those are the customers I like. What I'm dealing with is for my autism and depression is I'm dealing with social skills. I got plenty of friends, but there's some skills I need to work on socially, not to be too much of a or talk one subject so many times, even if the person appears not to be interested, because there's a lot of things I like, but I have a lot of friends that aren't interested in the things that I really like, so I gotta watch how I'm talking to friends. I've been doing that better though, but I can still see some improvement though. Secondly, I remember my last video, I couldn't drive because of my anxiety problem, my depression. Well, the reason why I couldn't drive is because I have this thing called sensory overload. It's a kind of a mental disability where you're just when sounds go in your head, and you just couldn't handle certain sounds, like kids screaming or people screaming at you. Like that, it just feels like someone took a bat and beat in between your legs for no reason, like a mobster in a Martin Scorsese movie. That's what it felt like to me. Or it felt like glass showers between my ears, and it's painful, it hurt. It's just, that's what people, when you have sensory overload, I think it's part of my autism, is the sensory overload part. But there are good things about having disorders, disabilities. I have talents as well. I can do, what I'm going to say, voice impersonations. I could do dialects. I could do the British accent or the Southern accent, or I can do Canadian accent. Eh? What's that about? I can do celebrities as well. I can do Michael Keaton as Batman. I'm Batman. Or I can do Little Jack Nicholson. Well, it's very nice of you. I couldn't do the eyebrow thing, but I could do the voice like that and act all crazy. I could do my Al Pacino. Oh, gotta get that cockroach. Say hello to my little friend. I could do that. I could probably do Sir Anthony Hopkins. I eat fava beans and a nice candy. I could do that. I could do Arnold Schwarzenegger. We gotta get out of here. Get to the chopper now. Now. Or I can do let's do yo, Paulie. You think I could beat Apollo? I could probably do Stallone. Not as good as Schwarzenegger, but yeah, still I can do dialects. I know trivia from sports, movies, music, all sorts of entertainment, pro wrestling, U.S. history, Hell, even some random things nobody thinks I know, but I do know. So I surprised a lot of people with my abilities. I'm just want to let you know that just because you have mental disorders or disabilities doesn't mean you're hopeless. You got talents too. You just gotta use your talents to your advantage. Plus, luckily I have a lot of friends and family to, support me of whatever I do. Either way, I just love my life. Plus, it's a nice day out there, so maybe that's why I'm kind of happy. Like I said, I got supportive and friends, Facebook, real life friends. That's awesome. But I'm befriending one friend that I used to have a real conflict with. Now we just got along. Not only do we get along, we're closer than ever. Not in that way, but still. His name is Demar Fulmore, and he's still working on his music projects and whatnot. And I hope when he gets big, I buy one of his records. And go to one of my actual friends, Jesse. Hey, it's my Facebook friend Demar. He's releasing a record. And he proves that you don't have to be white to rock. That's a thing. That's another thing. Like I said, just because I'm a white guy doesn't mean I like all white things. I like certain things from different cultures. I like old school hip hop from the 80s to about early 2000s. Well, basically we're when I graduated high school. Basically from the 80s to about 2001. That's where I ended with hip hop. Oh, let's see what else. I liked a lot of movies. I'm a big movie buff. I don't think I've told you that before. I love most kinds of movies: comedies, dramas, horror, thriller, sci-fi, documentaries. I think the one I find my least favorite is romantic comedies, because they're all about the same tropes. The pretty girl falls down. It's what Jim Florentine said. Most romantic comedies are the same. You know what's going on. There's misunderstanding. At first, the attractive girl doesn't think the main guy's, good for her. And then they meet and they date and they kiss or whatever. They have these relationships. And all of a sudden, they said the wrong thing and they break up for about half an hour. And then half an hour later, they back together and then they live happily ever after. That's kind of unrealistic. I don't know anybody that has that kind of relationship in real life. Yes, I'm drinking a Rockstar. That's one of the things I like to do before I go to work. Drink Rockstars to get some energy. Yeah, it's about me. Like I said, I'm also a big music fan. I mentioned earlier. My favorites are heavy metal and hard rock, because to me they won't go out. I mean, unless it's hair metal, but even then I like hair metal. But most of the hard rock, heavy metal stuff will not date. Dio still feels fresh. Ozzy feels fresh. Aerosmith feels fresh, at least the earlier ones. Let's see. Judas Priest feels fresh. AC/DC fresh. Led Zeppelin fresh. Def Leppard, I think the earlier stuff is still kind of fresh. I can still listen to that and still be even though it's 80 to about 82, it still feels like it could be made in 2015. I'd still rock out to it. The earlier stuff. I'm a huge Def Leppard fan, for better or worse. I even like Hysteria, most metalheads around my area would hate Hysteria because it's too poppy, too much hair metal But that was the first metal album I ever listened to. I was 5-6 years old at the time. They had a lot of hits in that album. But like I said, it's not my favorite Def Leppard album. My favorite one is Pyromania, the last one before Hysteria. It's all around good songs, except for that one song. Other than that, I love the rest of the Def Leppard album.
Attention Delhi Department 201.
Well, for the last one before I head to work, I just want to let you know that just because you have a lot of things with your you got a lot of things on your plate, and don't think you can, you know, achieve something, it's okay. I've been there before. With autism and depression, I thought I felt useless, even though I got a lot of friends that like me and support me. Just don't worry about it, man. We're all human. We just gotta learn how to cope with things. You could cope with anything. Do what I did. Just watch movies, listen to music. Oh, go bowling. You don't have to do what I do. You just go bowling, do golfing, whatever. Just do something that interests you, and then it won't take your problems away, but at least it'll get your mind off of it for a while. And then you can deal with it. At least you'll deal with it better after you, relax. Anyway, this is the last part of the trilogy. I hope you enjoy my autism video, part 1, or depression, part 2, and this part, which is how I deal with things. So, talk to you later. Bye.